In the quiet town of Hamlet, Indiana, nestled among endless cornfields, a small house hid a nightmare. Garbage, animal waste, and rotting food filled its rooms, but the true horror lay in the basement, where a 4-year-old boy named Judah Morgan was found dead on October 11, 2021. His body, bruised and broken, was wrapped in a fuzzy blanket, a silent testament to unimaginable cruelty. Judah's story is one of love, loss, and systemic failure, a tragedy that sparked a movement for change. Welcome to Crime and Curiosities, where we uncover the truth behind cases that haunt us. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and join us as we unravel the heartbreaking case of Judah Morgan. Judah Marshall Morgan was born on June 17, 2017, in LaPorte County, Indiana. From his first breath, his life was marked by struggle. He tested positive for drugs at birth, a sign of his mother Mary Yoder's substance abuse. The Indiana Department of Child Services, or DCS, acted swiftly, removing Judah from his biological parents, Alan Morgan and Mary Yoder, at just 4 months old due to allegations of abuse and neglect. Court records show a prior child in need of services case involving an older sibling, hinting at a pattern of chaos in the Morgan-Yoder home, but Judah's story wasn't defined by this start. He found a safe haven with Jenna Hullett, Alan's second cousin, and her family in Knox, Indiana. For nearly 4 years, the Hulletts raised Judah as their own. Jenna described him as vivacious, a boy with a bright smile who loved chasing his foster siblings, playing outside, and curling up for bedtime stories. To the Hulletts, Judah was a blessing, a child they hoped to adopt. In an interview with WGN News, Jenna said, "Nobody knew him like we knew him. His biological parents didn't know him like we did, yet in April 2021, a court ordered Judah returned to Alan and Mary, believing the family had stabilized after DCS closed their case. 6 months later, Judah was gone. What changed in those 6 months? To understand, we must meet the people who shaped Judah's fate. His parents, Alan Morgan and Mary Yoder. Alan Morgan, 28 at the time of Judah's death, was a man with a troubled past. Living in a disheveled home in Hamlet, he worked odd jobs but struggled with stability. Court records reveal a 2012 arrest for battery and strangulation in the presence of a child, reduced to a misdemeanor after a batterer's program. DCS never ordered a psychological evaluation, a critical oversight. To neighbors, Alan was distant. To his family, he was controlling, his temper a constant threat. Something about Judah, a small, vulnerable boy, seemed to ignite his rage. Mary Yoder, 27, was Judah's biological mother. She lived in the same chaotic home, where garbage, animal feces, and rotting food created a stench that permeated the senses. A mother to 3 other children under 7, Mary's life was marked by disorder. Court documents hint at a teenage mental health diagnosis, though details are scarce. While not the primary abuser, her inaction was devastating. She knew Judah's suffering but stayed silent, sometimes sending him to the basement herself. Was she a victim of Alan's control, a perpetrator, or both? The Morgan-Yoder home was a house of horrors. Court records describe 3 young children living amidst filth, a malnourished dog locked in a crate, and a padlocked refrigerator to prevent access. For Judah, conditions were worse. He was confined to a cold, dark basement. No lights, no furniture, just a soiled infant toilet and a fuzzy blanket. Siblings told police they saw Judah bound with duct tape, hands and ankles tied, sometimes arms behind his back. This wasn't a one-time punishment. It was routine, a living nightmare for a 4-year-old boy. Why was Judah singled out? The motive was chillingly mundane. Alan Morgan was furious that Judah, at 4 years old, wasn't potty trained. Court records reveal Alan saw Judah's accidents as defiance, a personal affront. He believed brutal punishment, beatings, starvation, confinement, would teach Judah control. Mary enabled this obsession, locking Judah in the basement and withholding food. Alan voiced, "He's gotta learn. No more messes. He stays down there till he gets it right." But this wasn't just about potty training. Experts suggest Alan's violence stemmed from unresolved anger and a need for dominance. amplified by a chaotic home and strained relationship with Mary. Judah, small and unable to fight back, became their scapegoat. Mary's complicity, whether from fear or indifference, sealed his fate. Judah's torture spanned 6 months, from his return in April 2021 to his death. An autopsy revealed injuries dating back 3 to 6 months, including a partially healed clavicle fracture. Surveillance footage from October 7 to 8, 2021, showed Allen punching Judah at least 28 times, lifting him by the neck and dropping him on the basement floor. Judah was starved, weighing just 36 pounds at death, severely malnourished. Bound with duct tape for days, left naked in the dark, he endured relentless agony. If Judah's story has gripped your heart, join us at Crime and Curiosities to uncover more cases that demand justice. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to stay with us, because every story deserves to be heard and every child deserves to be remembered. On October 11, 2021, at 12:12 a.m., surveillance footage captured Allen Morgan carrying Judah's lifeless body from the basement. Court records state Allen had beaten Judah extensively that day, leaving him alone for 19 hours. An autopsy revealed the cause of death: blunt force trauma to the head, causing a massive subdural hematoma, bleeding on the brain. Judah's body was covered in bruises, with injuries across his entire frame. A forensic pathologist with 28 years of experience called it one of the worst cases of blunt force trauma head ever seen. 40 minutes later, Allen called 911, claiming Judah was unresponsive. He fled, leading police on a 119 miles per hour chase through LaPorte County, but was arrested in Knox. Mary Yoder was also taken into custody. The investigation uncovered a pattern of deliberate abuse, with Allen as the primary aggressor and Mary complicit. DNA evidence linked Mary to the duct tape used to bind Judah, and siblings confirmed hearing hitting from both parents. Justice moved swiftly. In November 2022, Allen Morgan pleaded guilty to murder and battery, receiving 70 years in prison. The judge called him one of the worst offenders, citing the torture's brutality. In August 2023, Mary Yoder pleaded guilty to neglect resulting in death and domestic battery, sentenced to 42 years. A federal lawsuit filed by Jenna Hullett, Judah's foster mother, alleges DCS failed Judah, ignoring prior abuse allegations and rushing to close his case. Text messages from DCS workers showed a focus on paperwork over safety, a systemic flaw that cost Judah his life. Jenna Hullett's fight didn't end in court. Supported by Judah's army, she pushed for Judah's Law, passed in Indiana in March 2022. The law grants unlicensed foster parents, like relatives, greater rights to advocate for at-risk children. Jenna told Court TV, "We're excited the state is seeing change that could have saved Judah. Judah's Law is his legacy, ensuring his death wasn't in vain." Before we close, let's reflect. Why do you think Allen and Mary targeted Judah specifically? Was it his vulnerability or something deeper in their psyche? How could DCS return Judah to a home with a history of abuse, especially after he thrived with the Hulletts? Can fear excuse a mother's silence when a child's life is at stake? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in this fight for justice. Pause and consider. How do we prevent another Judah? Judah Morgan's life was brief but bright, filled with love and the Hulletts' care. His death exposed not just parental cruelty but systemic failures that left a vulnerable child in harm's way. At Crime and Curiosities, we tell these stories not to dwell in darkness, but to light a path toward justice, so Judah's silent scream echoes in our fight for every child's safety. If his story moved you, like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell for more true crime stories. If you or someone you know needs help, call the National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-422-4453. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay compassionate, and take care.